No, I wasn't talking about your hair. I was just saying in general that Dad, I'm gonna have to call you back. Hello there. God damn, you look good. What's your name? The quiet type. You can work with that. Has anyone ever told you how sexy you are?
Literally all the time. Look, bitch, I have no interest in talking to you. I am merely here to advertise my services.
What kind of services?
Oh my god, shut up. I am here to tell people that my gorgeous glossy print is now available to be purchased at pictureofhotdog.com.
Is that even a real website?
Yes, you idiot, you made it.
Yeah, I did.
And don't worry, I also come naked.
Holy shit. Hey guy, good news. The movies are back. After a year and a half of exclusively watching TV shows I've already seen, we're finally able to go to the theater again. Bad news, all of the movies out right now are terrible. Whether it's an escape room sequel or a G.I. Joe prequel, the one thing all these movies have in common is that most people wouldn't be watching them if they weren't just excited to leave the house. But no film has gotten more attention and criticism the past couple weeks than Space Jam 2. To be fair, a lot of people enjoyed this movie. There's a pretty wide gap between what audiences liked about it and what critics hated about it. But I've seen a lot of people chiming in to say how much of a disgrace this movie was, how much it tainted the purity of the Space Jam brand. And I'm here to tell you that the first movie was also bad. Don't get me wrong, I still liked it. Hell, I kind of like this one too, but these aren't good films. This isn't the sequel to like Shawshank Redemption. Man, the first movie is a classic. Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins give the performances of their careers in this groundbreaking Oscar-nominated film. But then the second one was just a bunch of cartoons playing basketball. I'm not too thrilled about the direction this franchise is headed in. I made that one up, but it's really not that different from some of the actual IMDb reviews. Space Jam 2 just shoves a bunch of references and brand names down our throats. They only made this movie to shill merchandise, as opposed to the first Space Jam, which was a highbrow cinematic achievement that wasn't only created to sell toys, from which it made over $6 billion. I think that's perfectly valid criticism, and I will be criticizing both of these movies, but for all intents and purposes, Space Jam 1 and 2 are exactly the same. The only thing that's changed is our age while watching them. The first one was great because we saw it as dumbass little kids, and the second one is trash because now we're watching it as jaded adults. Now we have mature eyeballs and big smart brains that recognize things like product placement and lazy writing and bad pacing. If this movie was 30 minutes shorter, I think it would have been a lot more palatable, but in the last half of Space Jam 2, there are way too many emotional turning points where the action screeches to a halt so someone can give a long, dramatic monologue.
Do you understand how much I love you? Do you understand how important you are to me? How very special you are?
Wow, that's a really moving speech, LeBron. But I am gonna have to call a shot clock violation. You've been holding the ball for 4 minutes. I've seen a lot of people criticizing LeBron's acting skills or lack thereof, but you know who else was not a good actor? Michael Jordan.
What's going on here?
Which, by the way, is fine. They're professional athletes. They didn't go to theater school. In fact, I'd actually argue that as far as basketball players go, they did much better than expected.
Who have thought
About what?
that a young buck like you could actually do the right thing and avoid getting his sorry butt kicked out the game?
Another thing both these movies have in common is how darkly violent they can be at times. Like when Granny murdered Damian Lillard by aging him to death. That's honestly kind of fucked up. And also the premise for the new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
This idea is just straight up bad.
Also, spoiler alert, at the end of this movie, Bugs Bunny sacrifices his own life to save LeBron.
That's all, folks.
Did he just die? Did Bugs Bunny just die? I would say what's probably most confusing about Space Jam 2 is trying to figure out who exactly this movie is for. First and foremost, obviously, it's for kids, but kids don't really care about the Looney Tunes anymore, or Game of Thrones, or The Matrix, or King Kong, or basketball, really. But the script is mostly way too dumb for an adult watching by themselves to laugh at, so it does feel pretty messy and all over the place and overly referential, which could be viewed cynically as a marketing strategy. But more than anything else, I just have to respect how much cringe they've managed to pack into one movie.
Style points.
This rap battle in particular might just be one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Porky Pig, they call me P-double-L-G. Step to me, he don't want no trouble.
Yeah.
This pig is lit, I'm super legit.
Yeah.
And somehow it contributed to the score of the basketball game. That's not in the rules.
He was spitting hot fire. Yeah.
Overall, Space Jam 2 is a mildly enjoyable film to either watch or make fun. I wish it wasn't 115 minutes long, but the animation is actually really solid, and I could picture a 6-year-old having a good time watching it, which really is the only bar this movie needed to cross. But since so many people seem to be up in arms about how this movie came and took a big old dump all over the pristine legacy of Space Jam 1, I thought, why don't we actually go back and watch that one too and see what all the fuss is about.
Come on and slam!
The movie gets off to a very rocky start by opening with I Believe I Can Fly, which was written and performed by hip-hop artist turned criminal R. Kelly. Then a very ambitious young Michael Jordan tells his dad all the things he's gonna do one day.
I want to play in North Carolina. Then I want to play in the NBA. And once I've done all that,
I'm gonna play basketball with the Looney Tunes. What?
But I think I'm gonna go and play professional baseball.
Aw, man. So while Michael's having this press conference down on Earth, there's something evil cooking up in space. Specifically on Moron Mountain, which is an alien theme park.
Let's get out of here, Dad. This stinks.
I don't know, that looked pretty fun to me.
Don't bring me here anymore, right? Don't bring me here anymore, right?
Are you listening? We need new attractions.
You may actually recognize this guy. Not only is he, of course, the main villain in this movie, but he also went on to have a pretty successful acting career as the Mucinex Snot Monster. So good for him. While he's trying to figure out what they should do, there's this great scene where his big, beautiful butt sits on a remote control.
Get the Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes!
Bring them here.
So just to recap, the premise of this classic film is that a well-dressed booger needs to kidnap the Looney Tunes so they can liven up his dilapidated amusement park. Obviously. Back on Earth, Michael is playing baseball now, and everyone around him is acting extremely weird.
Looks good in that uniform.
It's great. Can't teach that.
Can't teach it.
Yeah, you can't teach looking sexy as hell in a pair of pants. That has to come naturally. I gotta say, that's kind of a theme throughout. Overall, this is a much hornier movie than I remember it being. For one, every single character is basically drooling all over Lola, who is a rabbit with boobs. After one interaction, Bugs' entire body goes stiff, which I think is supposed to be the PG version of getting a boner. It's kind of subtle, but I get that reference. There's actually a lot of adult jokes they managed to sneak in here.
Besides basketball, where you find yourself
Yeah.
unable to perform?
Yeah.
Just one last question, and then I'll get you out of here. Does your dick still work?
You guys are nuts.
How about balls?
But I'm getting ahead of myself. The little alien bitches go and find Bugs Bunny and tell him to round up all his friends so they can steal them.
All of you are now our prisoners.
But the smooth-talking Bugs manages to negotiate some terms.
You've got to give us a chance to defend ourselves.
So what will they do?
Small arms, short legs.
Not very fast. Tiny little guys.
I can't jump high.
We should step on them. What do you mean? With our feet. That's a pretty good idea.
We challenge you to a basketball game.
All right, well, not the way I would have done it, but whatever.
Boy, oh boy. All right. What is basketball? What's that?
Oh, this is gonna be a cakewalk. Not only are the aliens 6 inches tall, but they don't even know how to play. This should be an easy win for the Toons, assuming the aliens don't go and steal the athletic ability from 5 different prominent NBA players by turning into slime and going up their noses. Shit. Fuck. I like how this whole ordeal gets interpreted by the humans as if there's like a disease going around that's making all the best basketball players forget how to play basketball and also do most basic human functions. Michael sees all this happening on TV, and I love his attitude about it.
Looks like I retired just in time.
Not my problem. You see, he doesn't have time for sports anymore. He's too busy playing baseball and golf, like in this really weird scene with Bill Murray.
Great shot.
Ooh, nice shot, Mr. Murray.
Not bad.
Unfortunately, during the game, while 90s buffoon actor Wayne Knight is taking a picture of him, Michael gets sucked down a golf hole.
Not bad.
I wish I could take credit for the wording of that line, but I can't because that was how they verbatim described the incident in the movie.
Michael Jordan being sucked down a golf hole.
And I love that. So that's how the Looney Tunes kidnapped Michael Jordan so he could save them from getting kidnapped by the aliens who had probably already been kidnapped by the Mucinex guy. I forgot how weird this scene is. Their training facility is dirty, so everyone spits on it until it's clean.
Come here.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, this is way better than the sequel. Meanwhile, all the b-ball stars who can't ball no more are feeling kind of sad. Charles Barkley is walking all somber down the neighborhood court while weirdly sexual music plays.
Undeniable passion, the love for someone or something.
You're Charles Barkley.
Hey, can I play?
Sure.
Not Charles Barkley.
Sing it
It's a
out.
wannabe who looks like him.
Get out of here, tall guy who just looks like Charles Barkley. Unfortunately, the tunes aren't doing much better.
Has anyone here ever played basketball?
Maybe that's why they all get so turned on when they get to watch Michael play. A couple things I do have to appreciate about this film. Number one, the soundtrack is awesome. Number two, this is a perfectly lengthed movie. 87 minutes, ideal for a kid's film. Do not waste my time. I would be curious though to see what percentage of that 87 minutes is them just sexualizing the hell out of Lola, because it's pretty bad.
You gonna make me act up.
A couple minutes into the big game, and apparently it's already the second quarter. But it's becoming very clear that the old man and the silly cartoons are no match for the super mutant monster team. And they're not just losing, they're literally getting murdered out there.
I always try hard. My mom says try your best in everything you do.
And you know what? You could have done that to them when they were tiny, but no one listens to me. Also, I like how Yosemite Sam is just running around out there with a gun. Come on, you gonna use that thing or what? At this point, you could make a pretty good argument for self-defense. At halftime, they may be down big, but they're not out, because they all take turns drinking some of Michael's secret stuff, which is just tap water. But it gives them the confidence they need to play their best. And also use explosives and motor vehicles and, oh, there's some guns. Best of all, Stan finally gets to see some game action, which leads us to one of the ugliest scenes ever made in a movie.
No, you got it.
Is he farting now? See, this is what was missing from Space Jam 2. This is what makes the first one such a classic. Well, we've gotten to the end of the game, or more specifically,
10 seconds ago.
and the Toon Squad just needs to steal the ball and score one basket before time runs out. This right here has got to be the least realistic part of the movie, because if this was a real basketball game, they would have to foul them, send them to the line, call a timeout, try to hit a three to tie it, probably miss, foul them again, send them to the line, hope that they miss free throws this time, but ultimately lose by 5. And that is what makes playoff basketball so exciting. Luckily, they don't have to do any of that because Bill Murray showed up to save the day.
Like him open! Never mind.
Oh man, he's not gonna make it! Unless he stretches his arm out really far and drops it in just in time. Oh, we're playing this song again? And this one? Cool. They really got their money's worth with this soundtrack. So since the Toons won the game and the giant snot monster got banished back to SeaWorld, or whatever the name of his theme park was, there's only one thing left to do.
Guys, we suck.
They have to get their talent back from the aliens. The talent that Michael put inside a ball. So Now they have to touch the ball.
Oh,
Oh, what is that thing? I'm not touching that.
touch it. No way, Jose.
It's Michael.
You don't have any other choice. Just touch it. Touch the ball. Touch it.
You know what, on second thought, maybe don't touch it. He's being kind of weird about it.
Touch it. Stop it.
And that, fellas, is Space Jam, a beloved classic from our childhood that should probably stay there. Could Space Jam 2 have been better than it was? Yes, it definitely could have. But was it that much worse than the original?
If I weren't real, could I do this?
Not really. What I will say in defense of the naysayers is that Space Jam 1 seems like a dumb movie that accidentally became a massive cash cow, whereas Space Jam 2 is a dumb movie that was genetically engineered to be a massive cash cow. So it does feel a little different in that way, but at the end of the day, these are kids' movies. We're writing novels on IMDb about a movie that is made for 8-year-olds. What are we doing, guys? There's gotta be better ways to spend our time. Like maybe talking about my hot dog? Hi, I'm a basketball superstar, and I'm also founder and CEO of pictureofhotdog.com, the world's most technologically advanced website. It's been almost 2 years since I unleashed my wiener onto the world, and I think it's time to finally give the people what they want. High-resolution prints of the hot dog, signed by the hot dog. You can buy one for yourself or your dad at pictureofhotdog.com/store, a website I made using today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you want to make a website for your business or just for fun, I can't recommend Squarespace enough. They have all the tools you need to make your dream a reality, even if you have little to no website building experience like I do. It's simple, it's intuitive, and there's tutorials all over YouTube on how to do some of the more advanced stuff like adding video backgrounds or changing the little icon that you see on the tab. This is actually the second time I've used them for e-commerce. The first was when I sold merch in the past, things like frisbees and staplers. I've come a long way. Or maybe not. But anyway, it's so easy to add products, descriptions, prices, shipping options, and a bunch of different payment methods so you can attract as many customers as possible. So if you're ready to take your business or hobby to the next level, go to squarespace.com for a 14-day free trial, and when you're ready to launch your brand new beautiful website, use my promo code DREW for 10% off your first purchase. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video instead of breaking into my house and stealing my forks. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, it is for sale, so please comment down below your best offer, but keep in mind, I do not accept cash. I'll be back next week for another heated rant, this time about Space Jam 3, which is already out in theaters. For CBS News, this is Drew Gooden, wishing each and every one of you a happy Easter. Good night.